Bernard von Nothaus faces up to 15 years in prison. The crime of which he was convicted, counterfeiting. What did he actually do? He minted coins with a higher intrinsic value than the worthless paper dollars the Federal Reserve floods the country and the world with. Unlike the Fed, he backed his coins so they had real value. And for doing so, the government branded him a domestic terrorist. The government's phrase, not ours. With us now, the man who dared to compete with the government, Bernard von Nothaus himself. Mr. von Nothaus, welcome to Freedom Watch.
It's a real pleasure to be here, Your Honor.
What were you trying to do with these gold and silver coins that you minted, and what did the government say was wrong with that?
Well, in a nutshell, we were trying to return America to value because we think that what's really wrong, and it's exemplified by what's happening in Washington, D.C. this very minute, is that we have a flawed monetary system. And either we fix the monetary system or it doesn't make a damn bit of difference what those yahoos do in Washington, D.C.
All right, but were you attempting to print coins that mimicked or imitated or would trick people into thinking they were the same coins the government mints? Or were you minting coins that were openly and notoriously not the government's?
Absolutely. Our whole business model, Your Honor, was based upon the fact that this was a private, voluntary barter currency. That we emphasized the fact that we're not associated with the government, and this was not government money. Who would want to have a depreciating government money?
And didn't you tell the government ahead of time that you were going to do this? And didn't certain government agencies, obviously not the people that prosecuted you, but other government agencies said, go ahead and do it, leave us alone?
Many, many, many times this happened because investigative reporters would go to the government, often before they'd even run an article about us or about the Liberty Dollar, and inquire, is this legal? And numerous times, Claudia Dickens, spokesperson for the U.S. Treasury, responded either 2 or 3 different times saying that it was perfectly legal. So did the Federal Reserve, so did the Secret Service, but not one certain FBI agent in Asheville, North Carolina.
All right, and yet the government prosecutors told a federal jury in a federal courtroom owned by the United States of America that you were the functional equivalent of a domestic terrorist, even though your behavior was nonviolent, even though the coins you minted had value, and even though the government ahead of time approved what you did.
Not only that, but they had a jury believe that an 1.5 inch diameter silver, shiny silver Liberty was an imitation quarter, for Pete's sake. They actually put up a quarter, a picture of a quarter and a picture of a silver Liberty right beside each other, and they had a witness testify that they were the same.
Mr. von Nothaus, I hope the appeals court looks at this differently than the trial court did. Good luck to you.
I hope so.
Thanks for joining us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
The next fight over your money could be much bigger.